The subcommittee for the Department of Motor Vehicles will come to order. The clerk will open the roll as a quorum is present. The clerk will close the roll. I did not see the order in which everyone came in the room, so I'm just going to go right down the list. So we're going to start off with Senator Rome, followed by Senator Steph, and then Senator Diggs.
Hi, good morning, Madam Chair, and this one is SB 41. So this bill is the same one that came before you last year, same one that we passed out of here, and that's why it's back here again, so you can figure out what happened in between. So this bill would allow voluntary contributions at the DMV for basically people to, if they so choose, put money toward the Virginia Highway Safety Improvement Program. Those of y'all who've known me since I was in your chamber know I have been fighting a losing battle for years to get more dedicated funding to Virginia Highway Safety Improvement Program. And well, now I think we're going to finally win that battle, which is great. Why do we need that? Because we know that innovative intersection design save lives. And especially this year in Richmond, where we keep seeing people getting hurt and killed on sidewalks and that has happened actually before on sidewalks, but in pedestrian crossings and other areas, we need a lot more investment to deal with a lot of our infrastructure challenges, so that more than 800, 900, even over 1,000 deaths that we've seen in the last 4 years on an individual yearly basis, we got to be real about addressing that. This is a step toward doing that.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any questions or comments from members of the dais at this time?
Madam Chair.
Delegate Austin.
I commend the Senator for her work on this bill. She's worked on this extremely hard. She's very conscientious about the safety program. And once again, I'll be supporting this bill.
Madam Chair, I want to just say thank you to the delegate, because when we were on transportation together, we've really worked hard on, in genuine good faith, on trying to keep people safe on the roads. So I really appreciate the comments.
Seeing no further comments or questions from members of the subcommittee, we will now take in-person testimony. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in support of Senate Bill 41? Yes, sir. And we'll set the timer for 1 minute per speaker.
All right. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. We want to first say my name is Daniel Wagner. I'm representing the City of Richmond Department of Transportation. I want to thank Senator Rome for her leadership on this bill, for bringing it back again. In Richmond, the Virginia Highway Safety Improvement Program has been critical to upgrading our pedestrian and bike infrastructure. It's a critical safety measure, and honestly, you couldn't have said it better. The timing is very important, and we're looking forward to supporting this bill and seeing it move forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in opposition to Senate Bill 41?
I hope not.
Seeing none, and we do not have anyone signed up online to speak in support or opposition of the bill. The subcommittee, Delegate McClure?
Yes, Madam Chair, move to report.
Second. The motion has been made and probably seconded to report Senate Bill 41. The clerk will open the roll.
Would that be a report with substitute or just report?
Thank you. The clerk will close the roll. Senate Bill 41 reports on a vote of 9-0.
I love uncontested docket. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next, we have Senator Steph. You have two bills before the committee.
Two bills. We'll start with Senate Bill 135, Madam Chair, members of the committee. So Senate Bill 135, I apologize, authorizes the Department of Motor Vehicles to enter into agreements with nationally recognized motor vehicle title databases to share and receive motor vehicle owner and lien holder information between government entities. This does not allow the sharing of any information with the federal government or any federal agencies. It's only within DMVs. The reason for this, it's more of a modernization bill. It improves notice, reduces theft/fraud, and prevents record manipulation, produces clean titles after lawful sales. What's happening today, a lot of people, it's called scrubbing a title. They'll go into Maryland, they'll steal a car, they'll change the title, and then they'll sell it in Virginia. If you end up buying one of these cars in Virginia, it takes up to 9 months to get a title cleared. on something like this, and it's a major problem for DMV. Again, this just allows them to join and use information from DMV-related national databases so they can recognize and clear title searches. And I believe we have folks from DMV here to speak on this as well. We worked with the towing industry and DMV for about a year to clear this up so we could take care of this.
Thank you, Senator. Is there anyone from the Department of Motor Vehicles who wishes to come and speak?
Maybe not. Maybe. Yes. We have folks from DMV, and we have some folks from the towing industry as well.
Okay.
We worked with both of them on these, both of these bills.
Wonderful, thank you.
Madam Chair, good morning. Melanie Lester, Department of Motor Vehicles.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Matthew Martin, Department of Motor Vehicles.
And they worked with us, and the big thing from you guys was a lot of folks wanted to make sure that the information in these databases, or what we did with the information, wasn't shared with any national level agencies or anything like that. They wanted to make sure the data wasn't shared or could be used by ICE or anyone else.
Oh, that's correct. It's only transmitted between state agencies that have agreements with these databases.
Okay, thank you.
Happy to answer any questions. Or we have other folks that I know want to stand up and support.
Okay, so we're first going to turn it over to the subcommittee to see if they have any questions or comments. And then after that, we'll go into in-person testimony, both in support and opposition. And then I'll give you a chance to speak to the bill, and then we'll go from there.
Great.
Thank you so much, Senator. Are there any questions or comments from members of the subcommittee?
Madam Chair.
I have two people in the queue. I have Delegate Fagans, followed by Delegate Anthony.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the patron, and so I know you had stated within, you stated that with one of the concerns, of course, in reading this bill, was the, you stated about in terms of federal partners not being, the information being shared. But when looking at the bill, though, there's nothing specifically stating that there won't be any sharing within the federal government. Can you talk to that? Would the DMV be able to talk to that?
I'm happy to, or let the experts at DMV, but it's a national DMV-related database that they're using, and they're not putting, that database is a contract that only allows DMVs. They don't share it with anyone. We specifically asked that question of the national level organization that runs this database, and they came back saying, we don't share it with anyone. We only sign agreements with DMV. We only work with DMVs. We don't share that outside of DMV. And then we sent it to DMV's counsel, and they came back saying roughly the same thing, but I'll let you guys chime in for that.
Madam Chair, Delegate, as far as I know, that is our determination. I'm sorry, I was not the individual who reviewed the information, but that is my takeaway as well.
Madam Chair, follow up?
Delegate Fagans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So when looking at that, then what systems currently, because this bill looks to expand a lot beyond what's currently within the code, what systems currently would this then authorize to have access to that DMV currently doesn't have access to? And are those systems privately run, or are they, because you stated privately, are they privately managed, or are they government entities only within the states?
Madam Chair, Delegate, these are generally privately run. There are companies like Auto Data Direct, and there's 2 or 3, I don't know all the names off the top of my head, but they are made for this purpose. They are the alternative. Every state has its own rules for how it distributes or shares its information with other states, and they provide a product that allows for somewhat of a level playing field.
Delegate Benita Anthony?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I have a concern about privacy when you are talking about private entities. So I just want you all to explain the privacy impact, data privacy impact.
Madam Chair, Delegate, when we enter into agreements with companies like this, they are subject to the same rules as a state agency when it comes to data privacy. They have to agree to maintain the security of their system to at least the same specifications as VETA would impose on a state agency. The information can only be shared according to agreements that are set out. They cannot share outside of those agreements. If they do, we will terminate our agreements. We terminate their access to our information. The same types of disclosure requirements apply if there is any breach. We are required, as we would be today with our own databases, to notify customers who are impacted. We have an audit program where we are currently, it's becoming more monitoring focused rather than responsive. So we are actively monitoring how our data is accessed by our use agreement customers and imposing audits as needed. Outside of that, without seeing a specific agreement, I can't tell you if there's anything unusual or unique about these. Our position is always to go in with the same requirements for every use agreement that we enter into.
Follow up, Madam Chair.
Delegate Anthony?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I just noticed that, is there a notice requirement when information is shared? So is a notice sent to the owner when any information is shared with these databases?
Madam Chair, a delegate, not just for the sharing, no. The way our code is set up, the data that's shared in the normal course of a contract or agreement under the terms of 208 is not automatically the person's not automatically notified. However, every person has the right to request a disclosure from us, and they can see a list of every entity that has accessed or obtained their data.
One more follow-up, Madam Chair.
Delegate Anthony?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I don't see in this bill any type of opt-out rights that the owner has.
Madam Chair, if I may, Delegate Anthony, DMV is primarily, so this national database and the agreements that DMV has, that's outside of the scope of this bill. They do that already. What this bill allows is for DMV to pull that information out of this database for titles purchased by a Virginia resident. They can pull the title information from other states. So once they pull that information, they use it just to clear a title and say, yes, this is a legally obtained title. This title belongs to this VIN, belongs to this vehicle. So this bill is only allowing us to go into those databases and pull information. The information you're talking about from a data sharing standpoint of DMV, that's not covered under this bill. That's already an existing code, what DMV shares. They share it with individuals from storage lots to towers to all of that. That's not this bill. This bill doesn't change or affect that whatsoever. This bill only allows them to pull information from these national databases and then use that information to clear a title for Virginia residents. And those titles primarily are purchased from out-of-state vehicles. Well, they're always from out-of-state vehicles. So when somebody buys a vehicle from out-of-state, this is only a pull. They'll pull from that state database. Now, whether DMV puts information or allows access to that information or those databases, that's not part of this bill. That's not covered under this bill. This bill only allows them to go into these databases and pull information from it, not put any information in covered under a different part of the code.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Delegate Austin?
Madam Chair, from the way the bill's been presented by the senator, it appears this is a benefit of value to the DMV in receiving information from other states for the purchase or possible theft of a vehicle. And the language says may enter into agreement. It does not say shall enter an agreement. So therefore, I'm comfortable with this. I think it would give the DMV the opportunity, the privilege, if necessary, to put themselves in a position to obtain information that may be of value. So I just wanted to share that, Madam Chair. That's just my position with the bill.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. I think we should now turn to testimony. For those who wish to speak in support of Senate Bill 135, please step to the podium. Each speaker will have 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm Thelma Drake, the Virginia Association of Towing and Recovery Operators. We worked with Commissioner Lackey in several meetings last year to address this issue. The problem that he found and we find is the other states don't respond. When he would reach out to try to get the ownership on a vehicle, the other states just did not respond. He tried very hard. We thank him. We're grateful to the senator that he would bring this bill forward and allow the ownership of the vehicle to be determined. Thank you, Senator. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Rachel Macy on behalf of the Northern Virginia Towing Alliance, I'm also authorized to speak favorably on behalf of the Richmond Towing Coalition and the Hampton Roads Towing Coalition. This is a really great bill that we're really excited about, thanks to the patron, to fix a problem that's really been hurting the industry. When we get these cars that are out of state and we're trying to sell them or get rid of them, this is going to really help us solve that problem. It's a huge cost to our towers. It's a huge cost to the land that we're using. We're grateful to the patron. We're grateful to DMV for bringing this. And we're really excited about this. Thanks so much.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Zach Lemaster with Gentry Law Consulting here on behalf of the Virginia Association of Professional Tow Operators who are public safety towers on the I-81 corridor, and I would associate our comments with the previous speakers.
Thank you. I have one point of clarity. Can someone from the Department of Motor Vehicles step forward? I didn't see anyone step forward and say that they supported the bill. I just want to clarify their position.
Melanie Lester, Madam Chair. This is, I will echo what we've heard. This is a bill to allow the Department of Motor Vehicles to truly serve. It has been months, times that we are not able to be responsive to this bill, so this will absolutely facilitate us providing a service.
Okay. Okay. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in opposition to the bill? Seeing none, and we do not have anyone signed up to speak in opposition to the bill. Senator?
I just want to wrap it up once we
of course.
get our opposition.
Go for it.
All right. Madam Chair, members of the committee, if you look on line 35 of the bill and throughout the whole thing, what we're doing is basically where we say we contact that jurisdiction to ascertain the requested information. So we're requesting agencies of other DMVs respond to us. All we're doing, instead of doing that, we're still reaching out to those jurisdictions when they don't respond. We're putting it in a system and we're pulling information out. Whether we share in the different databases, that's outside of this section of what we're changing. This is only allowing DMV to pull information.
Thank you, Senator. We have another question or comment in the queue. Delegate Fagans, and then Delegate Austin, I believe that you wanted to be in the queue as well.
Madam Chair, I had a comment and motion at the appropriate time.
Delegate Fagans.
Ma'am, I know the patron stated that within the bill that there wasn't anything specifically allowing authorization within federal, but the bill does authorize participation in databases that are explicitly defined in statute right now. It does allow the sharing of DMV ownership information beyond our current framework. And while the bill does limit the disclosure to ownership and lien holder information, it just doesn't clearly state who ultimately accesses the system once the data enters them. I really have serious privacy concerns expanding our authority to share even the smallest DMV data, especially to private entities without the firm statutory that we have. And with that, ma'am, I'd have a motion when appropriate.
Delegate Fagans.
Ma'am, I'd motion that we table this bill when appropriate.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to table Senate Bill 135. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Senate Bill 135 is tabled on a vote of 6-3. We thank you,
Madam
Senator.
Chair, members of the committee, thank you. We also have Senate Bill 595. And again, this is dealing with the same section of code. And let's just recognize that when where Delegate Fagans was talking about the section of code prior, that's existing code that allows the sharing of that information. That's not what the bill does. What this bill does here, it just allows the DMV with information that they have to share it with our towing or our towers. It doesn't allow them to share it with anybody else. It doesn't allow them to do anything else except when they have the information, they can share it with our towers. The towers already have access to the same databases we were just talking about, but they can't, the towers can't share that information with DMV. Just as with the last bill, we just wanted DMV to be able to access that information from those databases. This one allows DMV to share information with the towers that the towers actually already have. So most of the towers have access to the databases we were talking about in the past bill, but DMV does not. So here we're saying with the information that DMV does have, they can share it with our towers. It doesn't allow them to share it with anybody else, just our towers. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any questions or comments from members of the subcommittee at this time?
Madam Chair.
Delegate Austin?
Madam Chair, I have a similar bill that's gone through this committee, and that's important to towers to be able to obtain information to receive payment for their services rendered. And if they can't get information on a vehicle of ownership and residency for that individual, it creates a real hardship for them. So they're providing a service and not being able to get the necessary information to bill. So this is, I think, a good bill. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate. Seeing no further comments or questions from members of the subcommittee, we will now hear in-person testimony. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in support of Senate Bill 595?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, I'm Thelma Drake, Virginia Association of Towing and Recovery Operators. I could show you one tow business in the Hampton Roads area that is currently holding 900 of these cars. It's not just a handful, and that's just one company. That's not throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I do think there's a misunderstanding because the towers already have the information. They just can't get it in the proper channels through DMV to be able to find the owner of the vehicle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Rachel Macy, again for the Northern Virginia Towing Alliance, authorized on behalf of the Richmond Towing Coalition and as well as the Hampton Roads Towing Coalition. We greatly support the bill. We're really grateful to the patron. Again, this fixes a problem that we think will really help our towers for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Zach Lemaster with Gentry Law Consulting here on behalf of the Virginia Association of Professional Tow Operators, who again do public safety tows at the direction of law enforcement along the I-81 corridor, and we support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, may I offer a point of clarification for DMV? Thank you. I'm Carla Jackson with DMV, and I just wanted to make just offer a few points of clarification. The current law requires DMV to contact the various jurisdictions to confirm title and lien holder information, vehicle owner information. And what happens is that we wait months and sometimes years to get a response back. We have one jurisdiction that literally said we're not going to respond back. And so what this particular bill does, it's different than 135, is that it allows us to search the databases that already exist and retrieve the information from there in order to share it with the towers or anyone else who needs to handle a mechanics or storage lien information or problem. And so again, these are we're not sharing the information that's not already there. It's already there. We're just contacting the agents of these jurisdictions because the jurisdictions fail to respond or severely delay in their response.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Delegate Austin.
Yeah, Madam Chair, question for Ms. Jackson. Do you all search other databases other than what you have within Virginia's DMV for that information?
Madam Chair, Delegate Austin, it is the same database that other jurisdictions have. We have an agreement with the same companies, and we can get the information from the specific company because they're serving as our agents and they're serving as these jurisdictions' agents as well.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you. We really appreciate you being here to testify. It's important that we hear from our agencies to draw conclusions on these legislations. It's very nice that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do want to clarify that the administration doesn't have a position. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear what's happening with this particular bill.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in opposition to Senate Bill 595? Seeing none, the bill is back before the subcommittee. Before I turn it over to the subcommittee for action, Senator, would you like to make any final remarks?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'll wrap it up pretty quick. What we're trying to do is just make sure that DMV can pull information and assist them with doing their job. It's frustrating for them. It's frustrating with our constituents who purchase a car. Let's say you go across a border, you find the car that is your dream car, you purchase that out of Maryland, and then you come back here and you're trying to get clear title for that car. You've got the title in your hand, you submit it to DMV, they reach out to Maryland or the other state, and then they don't get a response back. So you can't register that car for a month, 9 months, and sometimes over a year or two. This bill here allows for them to work with towers to do the same thing on getting clear title to the vehicle, primarily for titles so we can clear up our tow lots, we can get vehicles taken care of, and we're not just sitting on things. And just imagine the frustration from constituents when they purchase a car and they can't use it because they can't get clear title. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. The subcommittee operates by motion.
Motion report.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 595. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Senate Bill 595 reports on a vote of 5-4.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Senator Diggs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've got two bills before you. You've heard both of these bills through Cognate, and I would just ask that the committee would pass, and I'm available for any questions in an effort to speed this up.
I just want to clarify that Senator Diggs didn't trust me to take care of his bills. He got a little worried, so he decided to show up, even though we told him he didn't have to.
That just proves.
So I will just let the committee
That just proves
operate.
senators can be trustworthy. Thank you, Senator.
The subcommittee operates by motion. Of course, with Senate Bill 396, we have a similar bill, and our chair of the Transportation Committee, that's why you're in a really good position, with her House Bill 1224. The language is a little different, so it's my understanding that you have negotiated with the chair of the Transportation Committee and wish to have your bill conform to her language.
Yes, ma'am.
Given that we have already heard this bill, we're not going to hear in-person testimony, and there is no virtual testimony at this juncture.
I will second that motion.
Okay, a motion has been made and properly seconded to conform Senate Bill 396 to the language of House Bill 1224. So it's a substitute, and then report with substitute. Okay, great. A motion has been made and properly seconded to report with substitute Senate Bill 396. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Senate Bill 396 reports on a vote of 9-0 with substitute. Your other piece of legislation is similar to that of House Bill 559, patroned by Delegate Wyatt. So Senate Bill 399 is similar in nature, but it's my understanding that this body actually prefers your language. So the appropriate motion would be to report this bill as is.
Madam Chair, move to report.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 399. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Senate Bill 399 reports on a vote of 9-0.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And we would have done that even if you weren't here. Senator Pekarsky.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Nice to see you all after last night's defeat on the courts. I know. Probably not the smartest way to start, but you know.
And on that note,
trust me, I was shocked at where we ended up.
You
at
may
the
not
end of
have
the
wanted
night.
to appear before us either.
Table.
All in good fun. All in good fun for
PBI,
charity.
everything.
For charity.
Senator Pekarsky.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward bill. So what this bill does, it basically adds a very small component to the driver's ed program that says that students and parents will be made aware of the blue envelope program that we have in place that has been very successful through the DMV, and I believe you all know what that is. I'm happy to expand on it, but I want to save you time, so happy to answer questions, or I didn't bring anybody with me. It's just me today, so.
Thank you, Senator. After the insults, are there any questions or comments from members of the subcommittee? Seeing none at this time, is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in support of Senate Bill 309?
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Committee. My name is Sam Urey. I'm part of the Virginia Education Association. We're very appreciative of the patron for putting this bill up. It's a way of equaling the playing field, so to speak, and we're very supportive of this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to thank the gentleman for being here today to testify on this bill. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Delegate McClure?
Yes, Madam Chair, despite the fighting words of the patron,
I love you all.
I think this is a very fine bill, so I move to report.
Well, we need to hear, we need to see if there's anyone who wishes to speak in
I withdraw
opposition.
that motion, Madam Chair.
Wonderful. Is there anyone in the room who wishes to speak in opposition to Senate Bill 309? Seeing none, the bill is back before the subcommittee. Delegate McClure?
Madam Chair, I now move to report the bill despite the fighting words of the patron.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to support Senate Bill 309. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Despite the patron, Senate Bill 309 reports on a vote of 9-0.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Committee, all in good fun.
As there's no further business before the subcommittee, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. The meeting is adjourned.